And fantasy audience. Found a major platform serving the smart TV market. SportsGrid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pre-game previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Morency, and many more. To find out where you can watch SportsGrid, go to sportsgrid.com/watch. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to the San Diego landings in Point Loma. A little quieter today, but the RP's in and a lot going on over there, as you'll see from our outdoor camera. And the revisit of John Ireland from Rancho Leonero. It's true. He's here and kind of can't come out of retirement for a day just to talk to you about and reminisce about that wonderful place down in Baja. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Sports Grid Radio Network, 1090 AM, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Quintin, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel. Give your boat the love it deserves and install a custom sea deck kit from Blue Seas Fabrication. Blue Seas is the West Coast's only certified sea deck fabricator and installer. Sea Deck upgrades the look and feel of any boat, old or new. Sea Deck non-skid decking adds comfort, convenience, safety, and value. Let the experts from Blue Seas Fabrication custom fit your deck, bridge, and interiors with stylish, durable, stain-resistant, and easy-to-clean sea deck. Check BlueSeasFabrication.com and enhance your fishing experience. Hey, San Diego, the Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event is going on now at your San Diego County Ford dealers. The biggest deals of the year to finish 2024, featuring America's best-selling truck, Ford F-Series, leading for 47 straight years. Or check out the full lineup of versatile Ford SUVs, including Bronco or Bronco Sport. Don't wait. Come take a test drive today. Get holiday ready only at your local San Diego County Ford dealers. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, man. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time, Pete. Good to have a good buddy back in the studio today.
Bring the camera back inside and say good morning to John Ireland.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Yeah, John, been a minute.
This is the first time since you've been on the show that you've been on camera, though.
It
Away
is.
with the camera. Yeah.
It's excellent.
So,
I wish the last 40 years we had it.
Well, you still look great.
Yeah.
Still look like you're living in Baja.
76 years old.
Attaboy.
Yeah, good for you. So, 76, how'd that happen? Wait a minute.
We're rapidly approaching.
Oh, I know that what the feeling is.
Rapidly approaching 77.
Yeah.
I don't feel it.
So no,
Baja
you
treated
look
you
great.
good, buddy.
Well, and retirement's doing well, huh? So
Yeah.
you're pretty much retired now, right?
Yeah, I am. Definitely.
Traveling a lot and living la vida loca.
Yeah, a lot. The last year we've done a lot of traveling and it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great. I'm enjoying my retirement.
Yeah.
Whoever thought, right?
No, that's good. Where have you been traveling to?
Well, we've been to Europe. We've been on the East Coast. I've been to Europe three different times over the
Wow.
last year.
Good for you, John. That's cool.
Yeah. I know you love Amsterdam. Did you hear that KLM's going to start a nonstop flight San Diego to Amsterdam 3 days a week?
I did. Bill DeLue immediately sent me.
He's all over. Okay. He probably already bought a ticket cheap, right?
Filled you in?
That's an excellent flight. We take that KLM normally out of LA,
Right.
directly into Amsterdam, and it's like a 9.5-hour, 10-hour flight. You're right there in the middle of it. So
Wow.
yeah, we were this last year. We spent a couple weeks in Prague, and Prague is really cool.
Is it?
Prague is like Amsterdam used to be, 30 years ago. Jen and I have been going over there since the early 90s. Pretty much every year we'd go in November at the end of our season and spend a week or 2 weeks over in Europe, and we'd always start in Amsterdam and go over. So yeah, we enjoy Europe. We've got friends over there, and it's a lot of fun. But now we're just settling down. We bought a home in Las Vegas, Summerlin. So we're living over there now, and we kept our house here in San Diego, but we're over there most of the time.
That's your residence.
Yeah, and I'm the
so that Newsom can't come after you.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Or Nooseless, I should say.
Oh boy, yeah. It was monetary reasons. I was hesitant to move to Las Vegas. I just Las Vegas. You get that vibe, and we actually like it a lot. We really enjoy it.
That's
over
cool.
there. Yeah, it's seasonal. It's like over there right now. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's just down in the 30s at night.
Well, it's a desert.
Yeah, it's high desert.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's snow on the mountains. I was surprised when we moved last year. We really moved over there, and there's snow up in the mountains back now. It actually snows 2 or 3 times a year on us. It melts right away, but it's cool. It's seasonal, much more seasonal than here. And we enjoy it. And the fact that we can go back and forth. I got the grandkids, Jeannie and my daughter. The grandkids are out here, so I pop back and forth. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Now
so
you-
cool.
But you
good.
still get
Life
down
is
to
good.
Rancho Leonero. You still have a house at Rancho
Oh
Leonero.
yeah, of course. I don't
Yeah.
want to leave out the ranch. Yeah, we're working on the house right now. We remodeled the whole house over the past year, so we haven't been spending that much time down there. But the house is finally done now, so I'll be back there. So we'll be moving around. It's
Yeah.
Las Vegas, San Diego, Mexico. Not
Yeah.
bad.
That's not a bad life.
Good program.
So what is going on? Now we got to ask the typical question. What is
Yeah,
going
what's
on
going
at
on
Rancho
with the ranch?
Leonero? Yeah. what's going on
Oh boy, yeah, that's the question on everybody's mind. They haven't started construction yet. One development group out of Monterrey, Mexico, the Sada family, an old Mexican family, one of the original 200 families. Really good people, really good people, and it's been a pleasure doing business with them. They're they haven't started construction yet. They're waiting on their permits. They want everything in line. It's taken longer than they expected. They wanted to start last April, and they're still working on water permits, construction, all that. Everything takes so much time down there. It's really a bureaucracy down there in a big way. So they're working on it. So the hotel's still there. The hotel looks better than ever. It's kind of spooky, going in there, because they're doing a really good job keeping up the landscaping, keeping the hotel maintained and all that. And of course, there's nobody in there.
Oh, that's real.
And so consequently, it looks better. All the landscaping, everything, people aren't trampling down the lawns and everything. So you walk in there, and of course, for me, a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I go in there, and it's definitely different. But it's all there right now, and I don't know how much longer that's going to last. But they're going to be doing residential development. They're going to build a hotel. I think the plans now is between a 70 and 100-room hotel, not a real big hotel. That'll support the residential development is what they're doing. And what happened, Costa Palmas found that out, Iron Gate Development, down at their development, that the hotel business is okay, but the north wind is a factor. But the East Cape, because it's like a lake out in front most of the time, the beach is really safe for families and the kids and all that, as versus Cabo, which is really dangerous. They've discovered that residential sales are the way to go. People can build a home close to the beach. You can send the family down, and they're not going to get washed away by a rogue wave or something like that. So residential has been the way to go. And so consequently, just like Cabo San Lucas, the East Cape is exploding.
Yeah.
Best way to
Exploding.
describe it. Yeah.
I still don't get it. I mean, I've been down there in January, and it's cold and windy.
It does,
right?
It's
I mean, and it's a 180-degree turn from
yeah,
Cabo San Lucas.
Speaking about
And that's a good
change,
thing, right?
Yeah,
But I hope it never becomes that, right?
Well, it is.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's interesting because the weather on the East Cape versus Cabo are completely different. Yeah, it's an
because
hour,
of the north wind,
it's
right?
an hour drive over. That's part of it. The north winds Venturi down the Gulf, down the Sea of Cortez, and really blow and boy, you just get around that corner, just closer to San Jose, and it's just a completely different weather system and everything else. It's kind of nice, because if it's the weather's, and it's really about a 50-50. The problem with the East Cape is that when it blows, it'll blow for a week or 2 weeks straight, and
well, when we have these conditions like we have today, Santa Ana condition this week, this is what brings
the
it.
kicker for down below.
And it starts, it's a weather event. It's November to March, every year that you're subject to those winds, and that's of course the high hotel season over in Cabo. So
that being said, there's still fish to catch. Chris sent me a picture from Bacaria yesterday, some beautiful 80 pound tuna, right?
Actually, the fishing is as good or better in the winter. Wind, you
just have to pick your day, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe during the break you were telling us Christmas.
Best tuna fishing I've ever had. It's around Christmas. We had like 3 years in a row. We're just smacking them. There's nobody out there, right?
Yeah.
So even if you can't pick up bait, they're just biting. They're hungry out there, and good fish. We just load it up. Yeah, but the tuna fishing always. I couldn't tell you why, but real strong in the winter months.
Yeah, that's cool. So who are buying all these multi-million-dollar houses down in that area?
It's scary. It's scary, the money. I have no idea. I don't.
Is it international? Is it Americans?
No, well,
or is
it's mostly Americans that I can see. They got like down below at Costa Palmas, Jeff Bezos bought a place. James Packer from Australia. Yeah. He's
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leo DiCaprio, and his parents live down there. Leo
Wow.
DiCaprio's parents live down there. But it just blows me away. They're selling a home down there for $45 million.
What?
Yeah, they sure are.
And that's how far from the ranch? 5 miles?
Yeah, 4 miles.
4 miles.
Right down the beach.
So do you see that same thing happening at Rancho Leonero?
Yeah, it's been slower take up there because we're not as organized, and we haven't the marketing hasn't been the same. But you consider at the ranch, like all the homes at Costa Palmas are really not beachfront. There's a common beach area, where that the public can access, not the public, but residents of the developed. Yeah, so it's not true beachfront. At the ranch, those are all right on the water, right in front.
On it.
And that hasn't caught up yet, but it will. It's just a matter of time, especially with one development coming in. They're a higher end developer than Costa Palmas.
They build beautiful luxury homes.
Yeah. Punta Mita's theirs.
Wow.
That's their development, to give you an idea. Punta Mita's the highest end resort in Mexico.
Yeah.
Number one.
Beautiful.
And that's one development. So they're going to do nice stuff, but it's changing. Gosh,
wow.
Anything, when you consider it's an hour away from the airport there.
Yeah.
And everything in Cabo County.
And it's a different world.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And there's a lot of things to do. Even when the wind blows, there's still a lot of things to do.
When I first went down there, the only way you could get down there back when I did it was, of course, driving back and forth or going from Tijuana to La Paz. And back then it was Aero Mexico, Mexicana, whatever you could get
Aero
on.
California.
Yeah, and infrequent too. You never knew what you're going to come up with. But you go down there and it's a 2-hour flight, and you get in there and it's another world. And that's what always impressed me. I said, wow, 2 hours away, and you're in the tropics. It's the real deal down there. So close, so accessible. As soon as I got down there, I knew that there's a real opportunity, because sooner or later it was going to catch on.
When did you first go there?
Well, I've been going down for a while. I was down there diving and fishing, actually in the late 60s, early 70s. But I was down there in 79, and then I actually purchased the ranch in 82. And boy, there was not much going on down there.
Was Palmas de Cortez there, or Punta Colorado, or?
Yeah, Palmas de Cortez was. The Van Wormers had just taken it over from Tico. Tico had passed away.
Uh-huh.
And
Uncle Tico.
Bob and Cha-Cha moved up from Punta Colorado to Palmas de Cortez
Uh-huh.
with the kids.
So they were
And
they were down at
They were at
Punta Colorado
They were down at Punta,
before
and-
you
and-
bought the ranch.
right. And,
Yeah.
but he was
And
just
Bob was kind of instrumental in helping you out.
oh
too,
no,
right?
he's my mentor.
Yeah.
What a great guy Bob was, and I'm a competitor, right? So, it's very unusual, but a good guy helped and he helped not just me, he helped everybody down there. Every breakfast he would hold court at breakfast, basically,
cool.
and buy everybody breakfast, and there would be mostly almost all gringos, need help with this, with a water tank or whatever, or permits or whatever. He was there for everybody every day. And there's nothing Bob liked better than building somebody a septic system or something.
Yeah.
He was really a
he liked
character,
to get his hands dirty.
Oh yeah. He was really, really a good guy.
Well, he'd be so proud of the boys now with all the different stuff that they're doing. Have you been down to Palmas and seen the pickleball
of course.
resort that they're developing?
Of course.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Come on in, Mike Lum. Mike Lum just stepped off the Royal
I
Polaris.
didn't recognize
Look
old
at that.
Mike.
You don't recognize
No,
Mike Lum?
Mike's lost the way.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah. Good morning, Mike. Yeah. Well, I have a mic here for you. A mic for Mike. And Mike Lum, but you need to stand over here. No, over here. Cover me up. Yeah, there you go. And that way the camera can see you.
Oh, well, that's a problem. I should stand over there.
Yeah. So, all right, you're returning my gear to Pelican.
I am. Thank you for the
All
use
right,
of that.
very good. All
Those are
right.
wonderful reels, by the way.
Did you use? Oh, yeah.
I did not.
Thank you, Rick.
I did
Yeah.
not catch a big tuna on that, but I did catch a number of other smaller fish. Our small tuna were the 50-pounders.
Oh yeah, those little dinks.
Those little guys.
dink
It's like-
50s.
But I'll tell you, the trip was so fantastic. Never in my life as I thought, what can I use to avoid catching a tuna? Because to try to catch a yellowtail, which by the way, the yellowtail fishing was, for me, it was unbelievable. A couple of days of wonderful yo-yo fishing, and then one morning of just as many surface iron fish as
Oh.
it was just unbelievable. Great.
That's
But every
pretty
once in a
awesome.
while, you get your tuna on the surface iron. So
Wow. How far down was that surface side? Because you were on your way home, right?
yeah, it was just about the same area where we caught all the big yellowfin
Okay.
going down.
North of St.
Yeah. So these boats that are going out on these 3-day trips right now that are going to run down there, they're going to have great fishing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So you were on a 10-day trip. Royal Polaris just came back this morning. What time did you guys hit the dock?
this
Because
is the
they're already on their way to the fuel dock.
This is the Davis Boats trip, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we came in about an hour earlier than normal because they were leaving on the 3-day right now, and they're already turned it around.
Oh, got it. So like they're already gone.
Yeah. They want the extra time to get back down to where these fish are.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
wow.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've already left for the trip. Or
yeah.
maybe they
they're-
went for
they're-
fuel.
No, they haven't. They went to fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But their
but
They're
guys
going to
are
turn
down
and
there.
burn.
Turn and burn.
Yeah.
Wow. So give us a lowdown on the trip.
Well, we had a wonderful, wonderful trip. And we started out fishing a day earlier than I thought we would. I called in last week and we were on our way down. Jonathan found some fish I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I'm bad with distances, 15 miles off the coast. And we started catching these yellowfin and they started out like, oh, there's a nice, look at that 30, 40 pounder. Oh, look at that. That was the smallest fish we caught. These fish were legitimately 50 to 80 pound yellowfin tuna every bait you put in the water. And it
Jeez,
lasted
cool.
in that evening. And then we didn't fish during the night, and we got up in the morning and the fish were still with us. We fished from sunup to sundown, never started the engine.
Oh,
Holy
how cool
mackerel.
is that?
And I don't think there was ever a time there wasn't a fish or two going, and sometimes everybody was going. And then I think late in the day, Jonathan called in the Vagabond, and they came over and they pulled right up next to us, started throwing some bait. All their rods went bendo, and then we backed away and left to go
Oh,
south.
that's
And
so cool.
I don't know how long they were on them, but we left them with
Probably-
a great
probably-
school of fish.
A lot of all you want, and then you went south, and you
We
got
went
a
to-
big one, right?
I did. First we went to Aleos, fished the wahoo. We had 35 wahoo for the boat. Everybody got one.
Nice.
And I hooked 2 on us. That's those 7X Junior jigs.
Hey, yeah, right.
Yeah, I hooked 2. I lost one pretty close to the boat, but got the other one.
Mike
and then,
Lum's got a secret special Salis, a custom ordered 7X Junior.
That you set him up with?
It's fantastic.
I just aided him in getting it. This was Mike's lure that he came with. Said, "Can you get me more of these?" And
Well, I mean, it was passed on to me last year by somebody else, so it's just like now. I noticed half a dozen guys had them on the boat, so there's no secret to them. But they still work really well. So anyway, we did the Wahoo thing, and then there was nothing else going on at Laos. We left, and then we went down to the Morgan Bank, which I didn't realize how close to Cabo that is. We basically went to Cabo.
yeah,
And so we spent a day doing the big fish. And so we get up in the morning and I was first on the kite rotation, right? I really didn't have that much interest in hooking one of these giant fish. So I said, let somebody else do it. Let somebody else do it. So we went through the morning and then I saw one come on the boat. It was about, 220 pounds, something like that. It was like, oh my God, this thing's huge. Right? So later in the day, I walked out to do something and they said, hey, your number's up again. If you want to do the kite rotation, I go, yeah, why not? Well, I grabbed the rod and they put a couple sardines out for me and they're bouncing back there and I'm looking at them and I'm trying to just squint to see the sardines and Eddie yells over, wind. So I got this 50 wide Shimano and I start cranking on the thing and everything tightens up. It snaps out of the release and 2 hours later, after this fish beat me up back and forth and drug me around the boat a few times, they gaffed it and put it in the boat. And so that was my personal best. I think it was 226.
hey, nice fish, Mike.
Yeah, it was real fun. It
That's
was really,
awesome.
really a lot of fun. And
Jackpot.
No, because it was a kite fish. But literally right when I hooked up, one of the guys got one on a fly line sardine that weighed 230. He just won the jackpot with that.
Wow.
We just announced it.
Very nice. Mm-hmm. And then you fished on the way home too.
Yeah, we fished on the way home. We stopped at somewhere up by Natividad, I think, and we caught a few yellowtail there. And then I think we caught some yellowtail there. Then we came a little bit further north, and yesterday morning I was yo-yo fishing, catching a couple yellowtail, and one of the guys was very persistent. He kept throwing the surface iron, and I kind of thought he was wasting his time, honestly, until he hooked a really nice yellowtail. I said, well, if one would bite it, so another one will. And so I started throwing it. Well, I started catching them. Other guys started catching them, and now it turned into a 2-hour wide open surface iron bite on 30. Well, not 30. I think they were more like 20 to 25 pound yellowtail.
That's so cool.
Beauty with an occasional 30 or 40
Yeah.
pound tuna mixed in. It was like, oh damn, another tuna.
Wow, what a trip! And Jonathan Yamati was running the boat. He's
Jonathan ran the boat.
The new soon to be owner of Total. Well, actually, he is the owner, and he's taken over the spot.
Yeah. He's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah.
He really is. I mean, he put a trip together that was so well orchestrated, and every decision he made seemed to be the right decision, even though it might not have seemed like it. It was like, why are we doing this? Well, now I know why we were doing that, because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And
You're right.
He's silent but deadly.
But think about that. Like, you went and had wide open tuna fishing, then everybody on board got a wahoo, then had a shot at trophies, then had a shot at you checked every box.
Oh, absolutely. I just told someone on the dock, they go, how was fishing? I said, if you had a problem with catching fish on this trip, you really need a new hobby. Because even I caught a lot of fish on this trip, right? So it was
and
really
the nice
fun.
thing was that I know you're always Mike Lum is always working, as you guys know. Mike Lum, you were able to work on the boat because of the
Starlink.
The Starlink.
Oh, Starlink is change. It's a life changer
Yeah.
for me. There's no way I could get on a boat and be gone for 10 days and be out of touch. And Starlink worked consistently every day, phone calls, text messages, and email. And I know that makes some people nauseous thinking about going on a vacation and working, but I couldn't have gone.
Yeah, exactly.
And
You
I
kind of
was
had to go.
I was able to stay in touch the whole time.
That's
It allowed me to go.
That's the
Yeah.
beauty, is you don't have to use it. You can turn your phone off if you have that luxury, but the ability to check in and put out fires and check in with the office now allows you to do a 10-day trip, where before that just wasn't a possibility.
No, and it's very, you don't have to have special apps or any of that. It's just really just like normal.
What
It
a
works.
trip.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm
Man,
so stoked for
what
you,
a-
Mike.
We also had a very nice fundraising raffle on board for Rollo. for the Rollo organization, and we raised enough to take a whole nother boat of kids out. So there'll be 40 or 50 more kids that'll get to go. So that was very nice of the guys on the boat. And
so basically, you brought some prizes, bought a ticket, and you raised a bunch of money.
Well, what we do is we bring our annual raffle tickets, which right now we're in that mode of selling those.
Right.
And so what we do is we say if you buy 10 of those on the boat, then you get entered into the on boat raffle kind of.
Nice.
So yeah, it worked out.
Yeah. And sadly though, John Ireland used to donate a trip to Rancho Leonero every year to that. There's no more of that, unfortunately. But
Sorry, Mike.
Believe me, every year when we put that list together, I think about you and I think, wow, that was really so special for you to do that for all those years.
No doubt, John.
I don't even know how many years you did that, how many trips you gave away, but it was very helpful.
Well, thanks for returning my Shimano gear to me. I'm glad it performed well for you.
It absolutely did,
Yeah.
and I used it for things I didn't really think I would use it for, honestly,
cool.
And as it turned out, I used the boat's tackle for the big one, which worked out fine too. So.
And your Talica 16 for a lot of that middle grade tuna.
Yeah, all that, and I was pleasantly, like I said, I was surprised. You just kept going. Well, I'm fishing 50. Maybe that's too light. I mean, pretty soon you're fishing straight 80, and you're pulling on these fish, and it's like they're biting everything you throw at them.
In the corner.
Yeah, in the corner. It was really fun. It was
So
just
cool.
a great trip. Anybody that is thinking or wanting to do a long range trip and just never pull the trigger, book on a fall trip next year, and you'll really, really have great fishing. We don't know what'll happen a year from now, but the variety of fish you get on a 10-day trip is everything from, I got a couple grouper too in the mix and all that stuff. So
Are you going next year?
Of course I'm going next year.
Are there any spots available on this Davis Boats 10-day Royal Polaris trip?
For next year?
Yeah.
I'm assuming, there's always 2
Yeah.
or 3. There were a couple guys here that said they had conflicts that they're not going to be able to go. So,
Okay. So
but now
jump
is
on
the
it.
time. Don't
Call the Royal
wait.
Polaris office, book online,
Yeah.
royalpolarissportfishing.com.
It's a very popular trip for that reason.
And it's a great time of the
It's
year.
a great time of year. There's always good variety. And this trip has seen everything. I mean, it has seen epic wahoo fishing, big yellowfin. It's seen big bluefin. I mean, this is like one of those kind of historic trips that they always catch. The Davis Boats trip is always a really good one. It's just a good time of year to be down there. And the beauty of 10 days is it just gives you time. It gives you time to travel the distance if you need to, or fishing slow, you can scratch away, or you can hopscotch and do whatever. Like, that's a really special trip.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Mike, thanks very much. Thanks for all you do for Rollo
buddy.
and all your hard work, Tim, and all the guys that help Rollo raise money to take kids fishing.
Well, like I always say, it's a big giant team, and we all play a role, and the end result is the kids win.
Yes,
Well
no
said.
doubt about it. All
That's
right,
it.
Mike. Well, thanks for coming by. Appreciate
guys.
the live
Thanks,
report
Mike.
here
That's
in the
fun.
world headquarters.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon. All right, great to see you. And as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today.
You're not-
A lot to talk about. We've got a fresh report from Mike there, and John Ireland's here.
It's so cool, man. It's going to be a great day, and we're just going to have lots of fun doing it. If you want to join us this morning, we would love to hear from you. Give us a call this morning at 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090. That's how you reach us on the phones. Phones are already packing up, or send us a text, man. The text the show option, so popular. We've had a bunch of texts already pouring through. If you want to send a text, the only way to do that is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. We say it every morning. It's a free download. It's easy to find, easy to do. You don't get any spam. You don't get any junk. You just get your access to Let's Talk Hookup, and you can catch the show 24/7 whenever you want to listen to it on demand. Let's Talk Hookup will be there. It's a great way to listen on your drive home from work. You can catch all the hot tips. It's a really fun way to do it. And again, it's the only way to text in your questions to John Ireland this morning. When you do, make sure you include your contact info. A name and a phone number is all we need along with your text, because if you win that big prize, we want to make sure to get it to you. And what a prize we are giving away today. One lucky caller or texter, as always, is going to be decided by our prize coin at the end of the show. Whether the winner is a caller or a texter is going to win a $300 gift certificate to CostaSunglasses.com. $300 to spend in any way you want it. You can buy multiple pairs of glasses. You can buy one pair of glasses and use the money left over to buy coolers or performance shirts or all the great Costa swag they got. $300 coming your way. Plus, you're going to get the brand new 2025 Bill Varney Sport Fishing Calendar. He did a fantastic
Looks
job
great.
this year. Really killer photography. The tides, as always, all the important dates, the dates of the shows, just killed it in a great calendar. Available now. We've got them at the shop. They're available everywhere. I was at Dana Landing yesterday, saw him down there. It's just he did a great job. Bill, you killed it.
Yeah, good job, Bill.
Yep, going to be a lot of fun. Again, if you want to join us, 213-432-1090 is how you reach John. We got a whole lot of Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers who fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
Whether you're fly fishing, bottom fishing, net fishing, or just sitting in the water thinking about fishing, remember, a good day in the water starts with everyone wearing a life jacket. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
It's time for the Power Pro 30-second seminar. I like catching big fish, and I like smaller reels too. How do I make sure that I have the capacity to land the big one? I fill my reels with Power Pro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard Power Pro, so you get more line on that small reel. Power Pro has a complete series of highly effective lines, including the brand new Power Pro Depth Hunter Offshore with different colors every 100 feet. Perfect for flatfall fishing. Want to learn more? Check powerpro.com.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Boy, phones packed up quick. Lots of great texts rolling through as well. Again, if you want to join us this morning, 213-432-1090. That's how you do it.
Those of you watching us on Facebook and YouTube Live, sorry, we just lost the camera.
Oh, no.
I have no idea what happened, but we're going to work on getting it back. So
I'm
you
just
can still
glad
listen.
that
You can
it
still
finally
listen.
happened when you were at the helm. Because the last time we started we're doing the Facebook Live thing, and it's very fun, and it's neither Pete nor I are super tech savvy. Let me assure you that. And of course, the first time I'm doing the show solo without Pete, camera just goes down.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I did everything a guy could do to get it back. And it just didn't happen, unfortunately. Bummer, but you know what it is. We had the great show. We've done Let's Talk Hookup for a long time.
And you can still listen to it.
Yeah, so I'm telling Pete, I'm telling you, bro, I did everything you could do. Pete comes back from his trip, and he just turns the thing on. It works perfect. He goes, I don't know what you did, man.
I have no idea what's going on.
Well, I hope it pops back up.
We'll get it back.
I'm glad it finally didn't happen under my run.
We'll get it back.
Well, it's a new deal for me, guys. It's a bonus.
Yeah,
So
totally.
If it works, that's great. If not, we'll do it the old way.
We'll get her. We'll get her back.
Exactly.
Well, in the meantime, phones are packed up for sure. And if you want to get through, 213-432-1090 is how you do it. Let's start off this morning with Harry, who's calling us from La Jolla. Good morning, Harry. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. A few minutes ago, it was great listening to you, all of you. The four of you are probably my most favorite friends in the fishing business. I wanted to say thanks to Mike with Rallo. I won a couple of weeks ago. I won Reel of the Week.
Hey.
And, I guess he's not in your office now, but I wanted to thank him. John, I have to tell you, some of the most incredible experiences I've had in my fishing life has been with you down at the ranch. I love fishing off your boat, the El Jefe. And, of course, I caught my first well, not of course, but I did catch my first wahoo down there. And the ranch, I'm going to miss it. I really am going to miss it. I'm going to miss the rides with you in the dune buggy. I'm going to miss Smokies. Oh, I can still go to Smokies, I guess. But Pete and Rick, I want to thank you guys for the tournament that you have down there. In fact, one year I won the tournament. Unfortunately, I won last place.
Get the El Zarillo Award.
Hi, Harry. You can come down anytime.
Yeah.
I have the house down there. You come down with old Bill DeLue and we'll go fishing on El Jefe. No
There you
worries.
go.
No worries, buddy.
That's
Nice
cool.
to hear from
well,
you.
nice to hear from you. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
Harry does bring up something that I want to talk about too.
Yeah,
What an amazing fun run and fun times the annual Let's Talk Hookup Rancho Leonero tournament was. I mean, just all the classic
29
stories,
years.
some fantastic fishing in between for everything too. Like there would be years when the tuna were biting crazy, and other years where it was all marlin, and other years where Pam and Phil would just sneak out the win on everybody by catching jacks and bottom fish and big pargos, and it was a really, really fun time with so many loyal patrons. That was a really, really cool. That was a really fun time.
It was. I really miss all those good times. I really do. Pam did such a great job. Pam and Phil together, booking, and everybody's family. And some of the employees at the ranch, that was their only job, their whole life. They were there. So some of them were working for me for over 40 years.
For your going away
awesome.
party,
Believe it or not.
there was a lot of tears, a lot of sadness among the staff.
Oh,
I remember the bartenders and the waiters would just come up to me and go, "Oh, no more Rancho Leonero."
Yeah.
Like tears in
No,
their
really,
eyes.
It is sad.
It really
Yeah.
was a family. It was the hotel's only 34 rooms, and I had about 80 some employees, and it was very familiar, and like I say, the tenure of most of the employees is well over 20 years. So it really was a family environment, and that was the toughest part.
Yeah,
right?
I'll bet.
And closing it all up and was actually much simpler than I thought it was going to be. We, of course, everyone got severance and everything on the way out, and I tried to be as generous as I could, and so that nobody was in distress in any way by the closure. And but it was still tough times, and when you have that many people and that many employees, we didn't have not one complaint, not one ripple when I closed, which is really unusual down in Mexico. With that many employees, there's bound to be one or two people, employees that are not going to be happy. But that wasn't the case. It really was family, and I miss it dearly.
Yeah. Some of the best memories of my life are being down at that place with my dad and fishing, and I know so many people are the same way. When you had multiple generations of families that fish there with you, dad and son, and then it turns into dad and son and grandson, and
three generations. Three full generations. Kids bringing, fathers bringing their kids, and then those kids bringing their kids and snorkeling on the reef in front and all that. Really was a lifestyle, and
that's special.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people enjoyed it, of course, myself included. But it was a special experience, and I'm a lucky guy to have run into that property and did what I did.
No doubt about that.
Well, hey, we had a great text come through from Darren in Menifee. It says, "Good morning, Pete, Rick, and especially John. John, welcome back. You have the most calming and inviting voice in the world. Rancho Leonero always sounded like heaven. We've heard you've been doing a lot of travel. Can you give us an idea of another resort that has that same laid-back feel, even if it's not in Cabo?"
Wow, that's a hard one. It's hard to replace the ranch. A ranch was kind of a one of a kind. It was
hard to.
Yeah, when I built it, it was old style when I built it, and I was totally on the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid, and so I was a lot of copying for me. And when I first built it, I built it to my taste and all that, but everything was very simple. Meals were included and all that, but I was doing what everyone else was doing at the time. And slowly everybody else morphed out of it, and everybody, all the other homeowners aspired to be a Hyatt or a Hilton or whatever. And I kept the old Mexican flavor and just kept the original style that I started with. and that did become unique. And eventually there was no one else doing what I am doing, the very, very old style of running the hotel with the meals included, etc. And no one else is doing that now. You pay extra if you want to have your meals included, but it's not all inclusive. Anyway, it's it's interesting because it is unique, so unique now. I don't think there's another hotel down there doing the same thing. Certainly in Baja, like I said, there are all kinds of cool places in the world to go. Like I said, we just came back from Prague and we were just so impressed. Everything was very inexpensive. You could get a beer, good draft beer for about $52, and lots of restaurants. It's a great walking town. There's a lot of places to go in the world that you can really enjoy yourself, that you still get the old feeling. Cabo now is and the East Cape eventually is changed. It's a high-end tourist resort. It's changed so much over the last 40 years since I've been down there.
One thing that was so special about the ranch was how much it was a transformation from what you were used to at home. It was just a different world. The laid back, the being in the tropics, the weather, the good fishing, the cold margaritas, all that stuff. But it was an hour and a half flight. You got on the plane, like you had breakfast at home, and then you ran down to the airport real quick and you hopped on the plane and you were there. You'd have breakfast at your house and you'd have lunch at the ranch. It was so accessible.
Well, that's the thing too. Being as close as it is. When I first down there and I was first wandering around down there, it just blew me away. The 2 hours away, you're in the tropics. It's really another world down there, and the fact that it is so close and so accessible. Keep in mind, when I first went down there, the big airport there, the Cabo airport, wasn't there. I had to fly from Tijuana into La Paz when I went down, or drive, of course, and there's hardly anybody down there. So I've really, really seen it grow. Yeah. When I bought our property, the ranch, what I paid for it, we had a leak in our water system in the development at the ranch, and the contractors, to fix the leak in the water tank, they wanted more to fix the leak than I paid for the whole place. Almost 2 miles of beachfront, right?
No way.
That's how much it's changed. It's scary.
That's cool. Now there's a $45 million house down the road.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, it's just amazing how much it's changed.
Wow.
And for me, not always for the better. Development, everything's worth more money and everything, but I preferred it the old way.
Yeah. That shows. That was the number one thing we would hear on the show every time we were here. Don't change anything. Don't change it. We love it. Like,
and I never did.
Yeah.
Of course, it's back to the KISS symbol. It's easy. That's the easiest thing to do. Okay, I won't change it. Everything is cool. Good. And and I like to say the food and everything else was to my taste, and the whole system, the whole setup at the ranch was how I liked it.
Yeah, it worked out because John's one of us.
It was very personal. Yeah,
no doubt. All right, hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We're going to check in with the Catch Report, find out what's biting up and down the beach, and a whole lot more of your phone calls, your texts, and great stories with John. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Offshore fishing.
So anyway, getting back to the StubHub.
Fisherman's Landing tackle.
So now Pete's waiting for my tickets.
Okay.
He's out to dinner, and so I finally called. So what's going on? Oh no, you can't get. And I said, what do you mean? She said, well, we can't get the seller. I said, you're the seller.
Oh,
you sold me the
no
ticket.
way.
You sold me the tickets last May. And somebody in India.
No way.
And she said, but we'll refund you your money. I said, I'd like another. Oh no, it's all sold out.
In San Diego.
No
refund
way.
me the money. So then I called Pete. Pete said, well, and then we discussed it. He was going to go to the box office. So Pete mentioned,
from 1 to 3
see
days.
if there are any seats before we walk over. So then I got on. And StubHub is open. Hold my ticket now.
Okay.
So I went on Ticketmaster for that. There's just a line of seats available.
So they could have used.
No, so I just told Pete, go ahead.
Landing
go down
in
there.
San Diego.
There are
Yeah.
seats. So Pete went down there, got the same seats that I was paying $600 for 200.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
No,
way.
But what's scary? But here's what's scary for me. Go anywhere. Try to get into any event not using Ticketmaster.
Right.
They're in the middle of everything. They don't do a fucking thing.
That's crazy.
I don't understand how they let them get away with that.
At 619-224-4764. This is Bob Hoots at Costa Sunglasses. Visual signs are a critical part of my fishing program, from bay bass to bluefin. I wear Costas to see what's out there. Costas are built with advanced polarization technology with our 580 lens, designed to cut through the sun's glare while providing enhanced color to see more fish. Costa was founded by a group of anglers wanting a high-performance lens for every fishing application. Costa has a West Coast style frame and lens for your adventures. CostaSunglasses.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning, having John back in the studio.
Still trying to fix the camera.
Yeah, it's all good,
But
man.
we have audio.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the most important thing.
We definitely have audio.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
But we also have catch reports, too.
You got it, man. And today, our catch report is sponsored in part by the great friends at Gamakatsu. They're not just all about hooks. There's so much more, including the new Gamakatsu fillet knives. Once you try one, you're going to want all of them, all the different sizes, flex blade, and more. The new tools are also very special, including the Gamakatsu braid scissors with the ceramic blades that'll never rust. They're a really cool scissor. We were given a couple at Tackle Days to try, and I just put them up on our reel bench at the line machine at
They're
the tackle
amazing.
store. Those things cut thousands of knots, a week in the tackle store. They get used all the time. It's like a mini serrated ceramic scissor for cutting braid, and they're awesome. It cuts really clean, super sharp. You can check them out at your local dealer, or you can check gamakatsu.com. And we're going to start off our catch report up at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Captain Brian Woolley's on the line. What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good stuff this morning.
Having fun.
Stuff. Yeah, totally. Well, hey, quick report for us. Just classic fall week of fishing up here. Water temps obviously dipped as a result of that wind on Friday. So we were looking at like 56, 57 degree water yesterday. But the half-day fishing has kind of been centered on sand bass and sheephead. Guys fishing the shrimp for the sheephead have had some good success. Bass fishing has required a light line approach, 8 to 12 pound line. The guys kind of scaling it down have been getting the better bite. Plenty heavy to catch what we've been catching. So don't let that line size kind of deter you from what we've been doing. And we've had some really nice anchovy for our live bait too. So that kind of helped across the board there with that bass and whatnot. A few halibut in the mix there as well, as most of our action's been kind of coming off the bottom. So that's just kind of bycatch there. Those guys are targeting those bass. 3/4 day stuff has pretty much been all rockfish. That deep water on the 14-mile bank has been very productive for us. That same anchovy it's fished really well out there. It's been perfect for that bigger chili pepper rockfish in the Floridas. But plenty being caught on the jigs too. Again, man, those guys fishing those jigs have been doing really well out there. Obviously, the weather windows have been really important for us, kind of getting out there. So other than Friday, the conditions were really great out there all week. And then the Fury offshore there at Clemente, they wrapped their 2024 season this week. We had our Dana Wharf crew trip on there on Wednesday, and that was, I think, their last trip of the season. So tons of squid at the island out there. You just slide into the cove, and it just comes right up on the deck light. It was easy making bait, and then in the morning, the yellowtail wanted that stuff. We had 7 or 8 fish, and that fish was like 25 to 30-pound fish on the dropper loop squid. So still plenty to catch along the island there. Good bonito fishing along the front. We made some cod drops before we went home, and the rock fishing there at the island was fantastic too. And then the bass in the shallows was still biting too. The water there was in the 60 to 63 range. I'm not quite sure what it is now after that wind, but that was kind of what we fished during the week. So all in all, a good wrap for them on their season. And we plan to be out all week here as we watch the weather and go from there. So if you want to hop on a trip, give us a phone call here. Our number 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web too at danawharf.com.
Woolley, what a great job. Obviously, your voice is stressed and you killed it. A great report and some really good fishing, man. We'll take that on a cold weather morning to hear that good of fishing, both at the island and on the beach. We'll take that all the time, man. A great job, great report. if somebody wants to come fishing, we know how to find you up at Dana War Sport Fishing. Great job on the website, the killer office staff. Sure appreciate everything you do for us, buddy.
All right, guys. Yeah, give us a call. Our number here, 949-496-5794.
You're the
Thanks,
best.
guys.
Appreciate it, Willie, very much. While we're waiting for our catch report with Gundy Gunderson, I know you had a good text lined
I have
up.
a good text. Yeah, for sure. And it comes from Matt. And Matt didn't put where he's from, but he's somewhere in the LA area. It says, over the years, hearing stories about the ranch must be a very special place. What are some stories of your personal best catches that you've made?
Ooh. I've got a big marlin. I got a 697.
Oh, man.
Yeah, way back.
Would it eat a lure? Eat a tuna? What did it? What?
It ate a lure.
Okay.
It ate a lure right in front of the hotel. Maybe a mile and a half.
So
right
cool.
up. That first drop off right in front. I was just heading out, and we got into a nice one. I fought him for about 3.5 hours, and that was my biggest marlin ever. Caught loads and loads of stripers. Released most of them, probably thousands over the years. Big wahoo, I caught a wahoo over 100 pounds. A lot of big rooster fish over the years. I've caught a lot. I'm just thinking back. I've caught a lot of fish over the years. I love fishing the rooster fishing side, and I like going around and chasing the schooling tuna outside. And to me, that's really, really exciting. Running in front of those moving schools underneath the porpoise, and to me, that's just a kick. That's probably my favorite thing. That and fishing inside for the rooster fish when the rooster fish are biting. But I've caught a lot of fish. I didn't any one particular one, but that was my biggest. That was my biggest fish, was that marlin.
What was fun to me over the years too was towards the latter part of the ranch was seeing your guys and your crews like almost discovering the really killer big bottom fishing that was there. Like there was some days when even there was good tuna fishing, and you would look, I used to love going on and seeing all the pictures that you guys would post from the fishing that day and seeing big pargos or big snappers or big amberjack or whatever else. It seemed like it really caught fire in the latter part of the last couple of years.
Well, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
You understand, because if the pelagics aren't working, it's not working on top. It always works on the bottom on the ranch. There's just there's so many fish down there. It's just stunning. And there's a couple of our captains that do pretty much nothing but fish the bottom, like Alonzo. And we have guests that do nothing but go with him. And he's also our diving guide too.
Okay.
He's real familiar with the high spots all along the coast there. And the bottom fishing's incredible. The amberjack that come out of there every year. Geez,
crazy.
50 to 100 and whatever every year we'll get 30 or 40, well over 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah,
really big and giant pargo as well. I had a picture of I used to go spear fishing all the time, and a normal day would be come up with a couple pargo that are 20 to 40 pounds, and the bottom fishing is just extraordinary down there. I can't describe it enough, but that's always
and untouched.
Yeah, untouched. It seems like because normally everybody's fishing top because that's what's going on, but the most consistent fishing on the ranch is on the bottom, and if it's not good on top, then you go down and you're always going to catch fish down there. Pompano, you just name all the different species that are available for you down there.
The other thing so fun about that was bringing whatever it was, bringing your pargo back or bringing a pompano back, and then having the gals in the kitchen just make some killer fish thing and sit on that patio and have a cold Pacifico and watch the world go by when you eat your fresh catch that night.
It's like, well, those pargo, they hit you an entire cooking and pull is what in Spanish. And boy, they do it great. They
So
put them
good,
in the
buddy.
barbecue butter and they just load it up. And then they serve it on a big platter and just pick the meat.
Yeah,
out.
so good.
good.
God, it's good times.
So good. Well, hey, the phones are packed up. They want to talk to John. Let's jump into it, Rick.
How about we talk next to Robert, who's calling us from Canyon Country this morning. Good morning, Robert. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys, and hello to John. Just have a quick question. With all the years down there, I've been to the East Cape probably a dozen times, and I always felt really, really safe at the hotels. Did you have to deal with the cartel? I don't even know if this is something you can answer, but just kind of wondered. I always felt like
Good question, Robert. Yeah, well, I'm retired now, so I can say whatever I want. Yeah, there, that's become an issue down there. I don't want to go into it too deeply, but it has changed things over, especially over the last 10 years. They're more prevalent. They haven't. It's very, very safe on the East Cape, and the cartels are tourism is, their bread and butter as well. So they're very, very careful in that, and they don't bother tourist people at all. Any kind of predation that's going on is normally locals. It's Mexican on Mexican, and so tourists are real safe down there. But they're around, and that's been a change. So that's kind of sad.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Hey, we have our guy, Chris Moyer. Smoky Chris is on the line. Watch out.
Stole my job.
Well, he
Come on, Chris.
Yeah, hey, Chris.
John,
Buenos dias.
John,
Hey, Chris.
John, I can't believe you let the cat out of the bag. I told you to keep it just between you and I about my new $45 million pad I just bought.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, man, I'm going to have a housewarming party soon, but I mean, I'm not going to have any furnishings for a while, but other than that, it's mine. And I don't know if, John obviously knows this, many of your listeners probably don't, but the real money down here is not in this hotel real estate mumbo jumbo crap. It's smoking fish. That's what money is.
That's it. Yeah, that's why you were able to pay $45 million for the ranch, right?
Yeah.
I told you those.
I won't have any furnishings for a while, but yeah, John, I told you to keep that between us. But anyway, hey, in all seriousness, man, I tell you what, just being able to, I've had a ringside seat for about 25 years of just watching John, what he was able to build, along with Jennifer, to build this resort into what it eventually became. And he's right. It was old school. But yeah, having a ringside seat to watch that, I've been truly blessed. And John is one of my best friends that I have down here. But not only that, he's been a trusted mentor to me. I know John has talked about people that have mentored him, people like Roberto Van Wormer Sr. But, it ain't easy down here. And people like, like John and Roberto Van Wormer, and even my pops to a certain extent, to, come down here and do stuff. And I've needed over the course of my tenure, I don't know if you call it needed a shoulder to cry on, but I've needed a shoulder to lean on. And John has always been there for me. He's been a trusted mentor and a great friend to me. And I'm so happy for him and Jen to be able to, go into this part of their life, the next chapter of their lives, and be able to travel and enjoy their grandchildren and enjoy the fruits of their labor.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you. Life is good.
You got it, bud.
Life is good, buddy.
Yeah, nice. And how about those tuna that were caught on Vaquera yesterday?
Oh man, yeah. Hey, listen, I said yesterday on the report, I said it could change today. And my partner Beecher went out and found some tuna, and I sent you those pictures, Pete. But hey, I got even more better news than that. John, our neighbor here in Leonero, Mateo Clifton.
Right.
He went out yesterday. He had a quad wahoo hookup off Pescadero, close in there, John. A quad wahoo hookup and landed all of them.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
then,
wow.
that's
Unusual.
Okay, so that was, and then another. Wahoo everywhere yesterday. Another guy came in with 3 right there off Cerritos, just like I was talking about between Punta Colorado and Rancho Leonero. So yeah, man, it's crazy. Now, unfortunately, yesterday was perfect, flat calm, and of course now the wind is going to start howling for about a week. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. That's
Santa Ana condition. We talked about it at Santa Ana. Now it's blowing, right?
I was talking earlier with the guys, and during the winter, when the wind's not blowing, the fishing is really good. I've had my best tuna fishing right around Christmas, and
I heard that.
Yeah,
and it's true.
It is true. It is true. Well, these were schooling under the porpoise that you guys picked up yesterday, right, on Vaquera?
Yeah. And I actually didn't get to talk to Diego specifically about where they were, but yeah, it was they had a great. I mean, I sent pictures to Pedro, and I was just mentioning yesterday, hey, it could change today because the tuna fish has been a little slow. But this time of year there's less boats going out, so when you have, the full fleet fishing, they got a better chance to go, find the fish. So when you have less hooks in the water, it's a law of averages. But yeah, they did it yesterday. And
well, when
like I said, it's going to slow down the wind. I'm here at home here at Leonero, John, and the wind's already,
yeah.
that's it's going to howl for a week.
That time of year.
Well, hey, Chris, great to hear from you, and you've been a great. You're not John Ireland. I'm sorry,
Oh, come
but he does a great job filling in for John and keeping us informed of what's going on down in the East Cape. He's a different personality.
Yeah, you're a spark plug, Chris.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
I don't even aspire to even claim.
No,
oh,
of course
come on,
not.
come on. You're doing good. Okay,
great
buddy.
amigo, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, hey, Chris,
soon.
keep up the good
Thanks,
work
Chris.
there, and keep smoking those ribs.
Great job,
Hey,
Chris.
thanks a lot thanks for the call this
See you,
morning.
buddy. Hey,
Talk to you next Saturday.
When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including checking in. We're going to finish off our catch report. We got our man Gundy Gunderson. We're going to be hearing from Steve Bernard. We got more catch reports. We got more of your phone calls, more of your texts, and a whole lot more with our buddy John. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Yahoo!
Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena is the place to fill up your car, truck, and boat with the lowest gas and diesel prices. Did you know Summit is also the place to get the lowest prices on gourmet ice and snacks for your trip? $3.99 for 25 pounds of ice, as many as you want. That's half the price of others. Plus, you get 100 pounds of ice free with a 30-gallon fill. Kirkland products at lower prices than the store that makes them, plus dozens of great snacks for just 89 cents. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel pumps, easy in and outs too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you. Fresh made burritos, sandwiches, salad, along with beer, beverages, and of course, always free ice. Summit Gasoline low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena. Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay. Sports Grid Radio Network is the premier audio streaming channel dedicated to serving the massive sports wagering and fantasy audience. Found on the Sports Grid app and SiriusXM. Sports Grid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in-game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pre-game previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Morency, and many more. To find out where you can listen to Sports Grid, go to sportsgridradio.com. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Wait, a 40-pound white sea bass off an inflatable Hobie kayak? Tell me about that.
I'm Logan from Bassline Kayaks on Mission Bay, and the whole story began when Ron Lane lent my parents some Hobie Mirage iTrex to put on their boat and take out to Catalina Island. That's when I borrowed the iTrek 11, threw it in my car, and drove down to Baja for a fishing and camping trip. Ended up landing a bucket list 40-pound white sea bass on the inflatable.
Dang, that sounds even better than our mammoth trip. When we packed up the kayaks in the car, snowboarded all morning, then drove down to the lakes, launched the iTrex, and fished for trout all afternoon.
Honestly, the iTrek inflatables are the ultimate fishing platform. From trout in the Sierras, calicos at Catalina, and white sea bass in the Sea of Cortez, they can do it all.
And we've documented all these trips, so check out Fastlink on Instagram to see more. And if you think you want a kayak, but you're on the fence, come down to our shop. We're right on Mission Bay, and we would be happy to throw one in the water and let you give it a try. So call Fastlane Kayaks to schedule a demo today.
Captain Jamie Tennis from Season Sport Fishing here. For the past few seasons, a dart-style metal jig has come into play in a big way for tuna offshore or even rockfish down deep. APCO's crossbreed jig has quickly become the go-to for many since it came onto the market. APCO's crossbreed jig is good to go right out of the package with a 4X treble hook, heavy-duty split rings, West Coast colors, and sizes 60 gram to 120 gram. Pick one up today at your local tackle store or learn more on apco.com.
Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best, Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's
That's pretty
sports
cool.
fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock God, Rick Maxa, and Corey Sanders.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Sports Grid Radio Network. YouTube and Facebook Live, audio only right now, but we'll get that straightened out. Ish. And of course, 1090 AM. Pete Gray here, along with Rock God, Rick Maxa. John Ireland is back for a revisit of Rancho Leonero here, going down memory lane today here on Let's Talk Hookup. So good times.
Sure having a fun time doing it, man. There's been a lot of great stories already, and we've got another full hour coming your way. If you want to join us in the second hour, man, we want to hear from you. Keep those phone calls coming. Number 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090. That's how you reach us here on Let's Talk Hookup on the phones, or you can send us a text. Texting the show, only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. All you have to do is open up the app. One of the first tabs you'll see is text the show. Type in your question. Make sure you include your name and phone number so we can get you that big prize if you win at the end of the show today. And way your text will go, and hopefully it'll get read on the air and be in the running, because we have such a killer prize at the end of today's show. And that is a
Hey, we got kind of an interesting situation here. You know, it's November, it's late, but the water temperature's cool, but still we had a full moon, strong tides, and some pretty darn good catches. You know, there's not a lot of coverage, not a lot of guys fishing, but the guys who are putting in the time are finding fish. Like I said, fair weather, strong full moon. Cold water species dominate, like barred perch, sargo, sheephead, sculpin, halibut, striped bass. A few warm water species this week. I had one corvina reported, several spot fin catches, yellowfin. The tide was the key. Juvenile barracuda, short sea bass, that sort of deal. The top catches this week were halibut. You know, some 30-inch, I think 35-inch was the bigger fish, and the guys are concentrating at the harbor mouth. That seems to be on the good tide swings, and it's a live bait bite. The smelt seems to be working best. Some lures, but in cooler water, the bait's working. We also had a 20-pound class striped bass. It can be hit and miss, but like you said, if you eliminate water and you find that right water, there's some catches. Hook, line, sinker reported good barred perch action on the western beaches. Gaviota, Goleta, El Capitan. 5 to 8 inch fish, not real big. A couple of 30-inch halibut they had up there off Summerland, and then a 5-pound and an 8-pound striped bass off the Ventura River mouth, and we've talked about that spot quite a bit. Wiley's reported decent mixed bag fishing off the reef beaches, sheephead, sargo, croaker, perch, taking squid and shrimp. They're a big fish in Steel Beach reported a 20-pound class striped bass taken off the Steel Beach pier. I believe it came on a cut anchovy.
but that's a dandy, and it's just ideal conditions for those. A few halibut at the harbor mouth for those guys too. Catch and Tackle reported several striped bass catches off river jetties. Hogan's reported a couple stripers off Doheny. These are all river mouths, harbor mouths. Those are the places you want to concentrate on. Beach fishing, small barred perch. Pacific Coast reported mostly small perch. Better halibut fishing in the lagoons, a live bait bite. And then my buddy down in Rosarito had a 10 and a 12-pound striped bass there with a 25-pound sea bass, all taken off the beach. He sent me a photo, and the thing I can identify is a big rip in the background. So what a rip is when you have the waters come onto the beach mostly in a higher tide, and they wash up. And then there's a section where water drains off the beach. So it gives you like a current line. And a lot of times you see the birds picking in there. And it looked to me that that's what those guys were concentrating on. Another one of my buddies this week took the perch rod and then took the long rod with 20-pound test on it and made a couple live perch and landed about a 12, 13-pound striped bass on a live barred perch. So if you want to get a striped bass, I think now's the time.
Yeah.
Gundy,
that's that. Gundy, very technical.
I like fall season reports the best, man. I love it when the fish report is light and then we get the Gundy info, man. I dig it. It was awesome.
I'm telling you, the surf is just dynamic. It produces all year long in one form or another.
Well, an awesome report as always. Appreciate that very much, amigo, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Always a pleasure. Great to hear you, John.
Thank you, Gundy. You too, buddy.
Thanks, Gundy. You have a great text, huh?
I do, yeah.
It's funny. I got to tell a story because we try and read as many texts as we can, and Rick and I both have the same text up. This one right here.
Yeah, I thought so too. And we try to hit them from different angles.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate. The text has become very popular.
There's a lot going on here in the world headquarters during the show.
Camera was down this morning.
Now
so
we have the
going
camera
crazy.
back.
Yeah.
Thank good. We had to reboot. Everything's good. We're back up. So on the camera, but we didn't lose audio, which is good.
You could imagine how many texts comes through when it's John Ireland. It's everybody's favorite. We all love the voice. We all love going to the ranch. The texts have been amazingly pouring in today. But yeah, we both we're going to read the same one, and I'll do the honors. Says, good morning, Pete and Rick and John. I just wanted to say that I'm so happy to hear, John, that you're doing well. I'm really sad for the East Cape. I'd also like to put my name down for a copy of your book. Last week, the guys had an insurance detective on, and he self-published. And in all capitals, your story is absolutely awesome. Thanks for all the great years on the radio. That's from Gabe Carson, calling us from Nevada.
Oh, great.
That's cool. By the way, he sold a bunch of books the other day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so
Really?
thanks for all our listeners that supported.
Yeah,
that book.
this book, we're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. It's interesting because I never would have done it myself. And I'm lucky enough to have, I've met a lot of really, really interesting people through the hotel, a lot of great friends. And Jay Gosh Eichardt is head of European Studies for Harvard. And he's been coming down to the ranch for 25 years and a real good friend. We sit at the bar and relate stories. And this book, all I'm doing is relating things that really happen. I'm not making anything up. You can't make this stuff up.
That's the best part.
I don't have, my imagination is not as good as some of
interviewed a lot of people, including me,
Right.
and all kinds of people that have been associated with John's past and present and future.
Right. It's been 2.5 years.
So when are we
of
going to see the
work.
book?
Jennifer and I were just out there about a month and a half ago, and I did the tour of the campus and all that. Quite the place. But we're working on it. It's going to be soon. It's not something I can push on. These guys are
Harvard professor.
George Soroka is the actually the professor at Harvard that's actually writing the book himself, and so yeah, they're working on it. And I can't, they're doing it all for me. I haven't paid anybody a penny for anything, so I can't push on it.
That's cool.
That's really
they're,
cool. I
They're
had no
approaching
idea.
getting it done, and they're optimistic that it's going to be pretty popular. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But it is an interesting story. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
Doing business down there for 40 years, you can't believe the things that pop
happen.
up that
Right.
happen. I mean,
I can believe it.
No,
In
you
Mexico,
can't
anything
make
can
it
happen,
up.
amigo. In
Yeah.
Mexico,
No,
right?
oh my gosh. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I'm lucky. I'm sitting here with my shirt on my back.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. Hey, Steve from Dana Landing has a big event coming up. I can't believe it's 2 weeks from yesterday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And tell us about it, Steve.
Good morning, guys. Good morning,
What's
John.
up, Steve?
Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Yeah, Ricky had touched on it yesterday. It's actually the day after Thanksgiving.
The day after
Saturday
the
the 30th.
Yeah.
It's actually our 25th annual San Diego Halibut Classic. So for 25 years, there's been a halibut tournament there, and we're doing pretty much the exact same thing. It's a super fun tournament, kind of mellow, but it's $40 to get in. Jackpots all the way up to $100. I mean, I think last year, it might have been the year before, the first place team won like $5,600 or something. So it adds up. You can definitely win a little bit of money, but super chill, have a plenty good time. We have a pulled pork, meal when we're doing the weigh-in and everything, and super easy. If you go to, just go to our website, danalanding.com, up at the top. Click on the link there, and you can just sign up. So
very top of the website,
limited to 40 teams.
It's limited to 40 teams. Very top of the website, danalanding.com. Very top. You just click on that, and it has all the explanations where you can just sign up online, right?
Yep.
And
Any questions, just call us.
And you said it best, Steve. Yes, there is. I mean, $5,600, some very real money, but and yes, there's money to be won. It's so much more about a really good time and a great tournament and a lot of fun. It's very well run. It's an easy day of fishing. Oddly, the weather is traditionally very, very good. You so often get those nice flat killer, fall days that we like. And it's a great time for halibut fishing and a lot of fun on the after part of it. It's just a really cool tournament. And if you've got a small boat and you haven't done a big fishing tournament, by no means you need to be an expert to go, drift some baits on the bottom and, maybe catch the big one. And it's a really cool way to participate in something like that if you haven't done, a tournament kind of fishing before.
Super fun.
Yep, plenty of guys fish the bay for it.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Steve, can you come into the one-stop shop, Dana Landing, and sign up there too in person?
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
That'll work, huh? Now, do you want to reminisce a little bit about Rancho Leonero?
Oh, I know. I've just been listening to all the stories, and I don't have any different story. I'm guessing I went down there 30 years ago, and I've told you this, Pete. Like, I've been fortunate to travel all over the world to some of the coolest spots, fish so many different places. Still to this day, Rancho Leonero is my favorite. When I was younger, I used to never be able to relax, and you have no other choice except to relax down there.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Down there and just be chill. There was nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. You had nothing to worry about. And
yeah.
It's just like you guys have said. It was family. You'd go down there. At least half the people that were staying there. You'd see them every single time. And I was fortunate to have my son be able to grow up. With that old school Baja. I didn't get to grow up that way. Obviously, I discovered it later. But, my son was down there when he was 6 months old. He's 11 now. And he got to grow up there. And I'm so happy and feel fortunate that he was able to do it. And consider you and Jen two of my very good friends, although everyone is friends with John Ireland.
Of course.
That's so true.
Thanks, Steve. Well,
yeah.
Well, Ben got the ring game, by the way. If anybody wants to know where the ring game is.
I didn't want to say that, but I'm very fortunate. We got the ring toss game. I'm sure there's thousands, probably tens and tens of thousands of people play that. So, Ben and I, in the backyard, we play it often. So.
There you go. Good.
You're going to have a party for everybody that played the ring game at your house.
Can you imagine how many thousands of people played that game?
Well, Pamela's one of the masters for sure.
Boy,
but I
she's
imagine
really
maybe can Ben beat Pamela now?
The record?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
He's getting there.
The record was 78 in a row.
BS. Come on.
78 in a row.
78.
Yeah, one of my bartenders.
No way.
I did 15 in a row. And but 78 in a row. Yeah, he was on the clock, right? He's like the Russian Olympic team.
That's hilarious.
He spent plenty of time on it. And 78.
So for those who don't know what the ring toss game was, basically it was a hook and
On
a
the
ring
wall.
on a string.
Right.
And it was in the bar at Rancho Leonero, and it was not an easy game.
No, it's
you
not,
had
but
to
it's-
you had to practice.
But it's very finite.
Yeah.
It's very finite. That's why you can do 78 in a row.
Yeah.
If you toss it right, it's going to go in every time. I love that game.
I found that there was a perfect level of Pacifico where you just got in the right
Got in the
zone. You know,
zone.
completely sober, you overthought it. Too many of them, you were too shaky, but just a couple of cold ones, and you were just right.
And betting, there's a lot of betting that went on with that.
I bet there was.
I venture there's probably $1 million bet back and
Over
forth.
the years?
No, yeah, these guys that get
Wow.
on there and play for big money.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
It was some fun. Huh?
Yeah.
What a play, Steve.
Very specific noise. You could hear it as you walked into the bar. You could hear that clink, you know.
Yeah, it's a fun one. I missed the whole deal, Steve. Miss you guys down there.
Yeah,
That's
for
cool.
sure. And who invented the ring game, John?
You know, it was
That's
one
a
of
good
our
question.
guests, and he had a resort in British Columbia, a fishing resort, and he had it in his place, and so he bought it, and he actually helped us put it together. And this was, gosh, wow, we probably had it well over 30 years, maybe 35 years, and you're constantly, you know, because everybody's using it, you know, so you have to read string and go through the whole thing. I became a real expert
I love it.
on setting it up.
Well, tell Ben to get ready. I'm coming by to get a couple rounds in, Steve.
I think we got to do it. We got to have a little tournament. I think that's a great
I think
idea.
that's a good idea. And of course, don't forget, speaking of tournaments, Saturday, the 30th of November, the halibut tournament, super fun time and great winter fishing. And sign up at Dana Landing or just danalanding.com on the very top of the website. Just click on there and it's $40. What a deal.
Yep. And then plenty of sides if you want them, but either way, it's just there to have a good time.
And you can fish from a boat or a kayak, right? Or a float tube or whatever, right?
Whatever you want.
Anything that floats.
Yeah,
You can
go-
fish from the dock if you want, right?
Go rent a Dana Blue Skiff and go win the thing in the bay.
There you go.
There you go.
Are there any
It's
Dana
definitely
Blue
doable.
skiffs available that day?
Saturday's usually pretty busy, but I'm sure there are.
If you book now, you
Yeah,
might
you
be able to
might
get
be able
one.
to snag
Good
one.
idea, Ricky.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Nice to hear from you. Appreciate the call.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All right.
Steve.
All right. Thanks very much. Hey, I have a great text here, and it's from, well, it's a long one, but it's from Bob Castro.
I like
Yeah.
that one too, man.
Yeah.
We're on the same wavelength today. I thought this was
Aloha.
fun too.
Nice to see John Ireland. We met a few times around 20 years ago. You were always cool then, and you had openings for a new office manager position. I was living in Buena Vista. So my cousin Bobby Van Warmer drove me out to meet you and interview for the job, but my Spanish wasn't good enough to properly do the job. I ended up working for Jack Nielsen, Jack Webster, representing Accurate and Baja. But you were so cool. It was always a pleasure, and the ranch was such a beautiful place. Thanks and happy retirement.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, there's like a ton of those, John.
yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah.
like a ton of those
Thanks,
coming
you
up.
guys.
Yeah, let's jump back on the phone.
You got it. There's some very patient callers excited to talk to you. Let's talk to Dave, who's calling us from Anza this morning. Hi, Dave. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, everybody. And hey, John, it's so good to hear your voice again. You know, I've won that first Let's Talk Hookup tournament down there. I still have the plaque, 1995.
Nice.
And I've
Collector's
been back there so many, been back there so many times since. You know, was down there several times with my wife. We celebrated anniversaries down there. Went down with buddies of mine. I took all three of my sons individually down there. A lot of different people, but every trip was a great one.
Thanks, Dave.
My best memory down there was that 62-pound Dorado that I caught down there. And I got to tell you, though, John, I sure missed that Saturday night rib dinner that you always had.
Yeah, me too. Me too,
Well,
Dave.
At this point, John, I just hope you have a lot of good grandpa time with those cute grandkids of yours, and I just wish you the best of everything. Thanks for the memories.
Thanks, Dave. You know, Dave's an old-time guest, been one of our original guests, coming for years and years, and that's much appreciated, Dave. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, and I am having a great time with the grandkids. And
Yeah.
a little more time.
Well, Chris over at the Smokehouse may be trying to replicate the rib dinner at Rancho Leonero, but there is no replication.
You know, the girls.
There is nothing like that rib night at Rancho Leonero. Just because of not just the food, but the scenery, man. The moon rising over the Sea of Cortez, sitting on the balcony. I mean, I have vivid memories in my mind of that moment.
Close your eyes and see it now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a nicer location
No.
in the world
No.
than that place. When I first saw it, man, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's such a special spot.
Yeah.
It really, really is. I miss it, but hopefully One Development does a good job with it.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Great phone call, Dave. Hey, it's time to find out what's going on the water. It's time for our fishdope.com report with the Angler's Realtor. Yusef Husseini is on the line, and today that catch report is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you can get the premier processing experience. Check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips with new team members and all other great things that stays far ahead of the rest. Fish Pros has more same-day capacity, the finest customer service. Stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure to make those reservations today. Good morning, Yusuf.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, John. Hope everything's going well.
Good morning, Yusuf. Thanks, amigo.
Good morning.
All good.
Good. All right, guys. So fish report is looking about the same as last week. For all the island fishing up north at Santa Cruz Island, there still is tonnage of squid up there. There are sea bass around. There aren't a lot of boats out looking for them right now, so we're just waiting to hear a little bit more on that. But there are fish there. Santa Monica Bay has slowed down quite a bit. The water rolled, dropped about 5 degrees. Bass fishing slowed down. Rock fishing and sculpin fishing is still great. San Clemente. We still have a really good yellowtail bite on some big yellows. They're biting between 3 a.m. and sunrise over at the Cape. Same thing as last week. After daylight, they're gone. They're not biting anymore. That's all on live squid. Tanner Bank and Cortez, we have no reports. Basically, as far as we know, the fish are still there and hoping they bite after these storms here. But the wind's been up, so nobody's been out there to check it out. And then tuna, the yellowfin that were up here at 130 miles about a month ago or 3 weeks ago are now down on the Ranger Bank, 275 miles down. Fishing is still good, what we're hearing, but it is a 3-day trip only type deal, the 24 to 30 hour run. And that's it for the report.
It's a long ways down, but some really nice fishing if you can get there. And glad to hear that island fishing has still remained the same.
Squid.
You were talking about squid and all the island sea bass, halibut, yellowtail potentials in play at some of the islands.
Definitely, yeah. You just got to get away from the big piles of squid to get fit.
Yeah,
there it is.
For sure.
Good dope as always, and that's what fishdope.com will do you. And you can save $30 off of a new membership to fishdope.com by using the code HOOKUPNOW, all lowercase, no space. It's a great way to save a few bucks and get the best info on the water.
Yeah, for sure. And how do we find you, Yusuf, for the best in real estate?
You can get me at 619-277-2169 on social media at Cal Realty, or you can go to my website and get a free home evaluation at SoCalHomeEval.com.
Those home evals, with the way the market is right now, would be very interesting to rerun it. So SoCalHomeEval.com. Thanks, Yusuf. Appreciate that very much, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
You got it. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, bro. All right, that's going to wrap up our catch report. Norrisk lithium batteries, they are here in Southern California and designed specifically for marine use. Norrisk lithium features prismatic cells for extreme durability, solid connections, longevity, and reliability. The Norrisk Guardian Advanced Battery Management System allows you to monitor the health and the charging status by using an app on your phone. Norrisk also has a complete line of kayak and electric reel batteries. Make an investment in the very best for your boat with Norrisk Lithium. Check NorriskLithium.com or go see the Trolling Motor Doctor or Anglers Marine at both their Anaheim and Lakeside locations for your Norrisk lithium batteries.
And they're coming out with that new line of Norrisk. They're going to be taking over the lithium world.
That's the thing they killed at ICAST. It was like the big, all the.
They're coming out like right now.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, Mike Lum is the rep for them, so
That's right.
He's been busily getting them out there to the spot.
That's why he was on the Starlink on the whole.
That's it.
Sure.
Yeah. Ken in San Diego writes, "Good morning, great show. Question for John: what has been the best season for low crowds, nice weather, and good fishing in the East Cape? And are there any camping or RV options down there? It has been a while since I've been down there.
Easter or spring is really nice around Easter. I enjoy weather's beautiful down there. Starting about April, May, June are really, really nice months. And it's if you come in, or if you used to come in April and May, it would normally not as crowded. Fishing's real good. Water's warming up. Water's probably approaching 80 degrees as you get into June. But it's a good time to come and not quite as crowded. Keep in mind that at the ranch it's only 34 rooms, or it was 34. It is 34 rooms.
Still is, right?
Yeah, so far.
Till they tear it down and build houses.
So far, but it's a big piece of property, right? It's lots of acres and all that. So even when the hotel's full, it's not crowded. There's plenty of room for everybody. There's plenty of seating, and then we have a big dining room and everything. So it never really gets that crowded at the ranch, even when it's 100% full.
Yeah, for sure.
And as far as camping, yeah, there are trailer.
Yeah, there's
parks.
Verdugo's right
Yeah,
there
yeah.
next to Palmas.
Los Barriles, yeah,
Los
which
Barriles.
is Los Barriles is really interesting. You're talking about the pickleball and all that. It's the pickleball capital of the world.
Is it really now?
Yeah.
Well, the Van Wormers are building, I don't know, like 40 courts.
40
Come
some
on.
courts.
Yeah.
You should
Oh,
see
yeah.
it.
Wow.
You should see it. Yeah.
Oh, it's huge.
Don't tell world's greatest fisherman about that.
And for them,
Yeah.
He'll lose it.
Yeah, he might be moving now.
He might.
Well, they're
Yeah.
smart for them because it's a winter thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
You don't
because-
want to play pickleball there in summer.
No,
It's too hot.
No,
It's not an August activity.
No,
too
it's a
hot,
great
but-
time. This
but
is a great time of the year.
It's a great winter activity,
Yeah.
because the wind blanks out the water and all that. It's something to do. And historically, it's interesting that the East Cape and Los Barriles and Buena Vista are full of snowbirds, right?
Yeah.
For the winter. And it's a whole different crowd that comes
Totally
in.
different crowd.
Totally different crowd that comes in. So the hotels are real busy when the town's not, and the town's real busy when the hotels aren't.
Hotels not,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a dichotomy.
Pretty interesting.
But for the Van Warmers, it's an activity that's going to keep their hotel full in the
Absolutely.
slow months. And
No,
so
the
it's
boys are doing a great
really,
job.
really- oh,
I
yeah,
mean, they've got Eddie's sons, Carlos and Roberto are
good boys.
involved big time and doing a great job. And
Yayo's big.
Yayo's big in politics
big in
now.
politics.
Yeah,
no, they're
really-
quite a family.
Yeah.
Quite a family, and they are doing a good job.
Yeah.
And, they have a lot of properties. The Van Warmer kids
Yeah.
do. So they're property developers now too, and really, truly, that's where the money is.
Yeah.
And but they're doing a good job keeping up the fishing resort and all that. But they're building a couple hotels down in Punta Colorado. They're putting in condos in Los Barriles right up the hill as you enter into Los Barriles, right across from the
Yeah.
shopping center.
Mhm.
They're building a bunch of condos up there. They're very, very active. They have a lot going on.
For sure.
And the area is booming. The
Yeah, it
area
is.
booming.
Yeah.
And it's just not my style.
It's a different
anymore.
world.
Yeah, it's a
There's
different
traffic on the main street
Oh,
of
don't
Los
say that.
Barriles
What
in
do
the
you-
winter.
Don't say that.
No, there's a traffic jam.
Really?
Yeah. Well, they did such a poor job
Yeah.
planning that street.
Well, there's one street.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
true.
When it rains, it becomes
One
it's a
lake.
river.
Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including more of your phone calls, texts, and more with John. You stay tuned at Let's Talk Hookup on the Sports Grid Radio Network and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Don't delay and take advantage during Yamaha's Why Wait for Spring sales event. From now until December 6, 2024, eligible new 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboards include up to $500 in dealer credit, and new Yamaha 450 to 425 horsepower outboards include 7 years of coverage protection. 350 to 30 horsepower outboards come with 6 years of coverage protection. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends December 6, 2024, subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models exclude new 2.5 to 25 four-stroke outboards and dealer credit up to $500 based on horsepower toward the MSRP value of goods and services purchased at the authorized participating dealer that sold the outboard. At no extra cost to the consumer, new 425 to 450 horsepower is a 24-month Yamaha extended service added to a 60-month factory limited warranty. New 30 to 350 horsepower is a 36-month Yamaha extended service added to a 36-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered by Florida dealers is a Yamaha extended limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha dealer for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer. The best just got better. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 20A and 25A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship two-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. The Shimano's Talica success is driven by its durability and spec attributes, allowing the series to differentiate from other lever drag reels within the market. The Talica is built around a cold-forged machined aluminum one-piece frame. The all-new Talica 20A and 25A now boasts Infinity Drive. Infinity Drive employs 2 drag washers housed in the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load as much as 40%. There's also a new lower low gear. If your utmost concern is performance without compromise, Talica 20A and 25A are the reels for you. Available now at your local Shimano dealer.
Quality, the Islander out at Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among anglers, but Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. The quality of the captains and crew, as well as the great meals and service, speak for themselves. Comfortable staterooms, a super clean and well taken care of boat are just a few of the reasons the Islander is so popular. The Islander specializes in 1.5 to 5 day fishing. Experience the Islander difference. Visit IslanderSportFishing.com.
I've had the opportunity to fish many places in many different types of water, but never have I fished a place as much fun as Katmai Lodge in Alaska. Hello, my name is Harold Davis, typically fishing in the ocean, but this is an experience that you have to try for yourself. Fish natural rivers with tens of thousands of fish coming up. And they have all the gear: spinning, bait casting, fly rods, kings, silvers, pinks, sockeyes, and my favorite, the chums. Outstanding food, outstanding accommodations, great service. The lodge is located in the beautiful Katmai National Park, filled with amazing wildlife. Brown bears, moose, eagles, otters, and it has spectacular scenery. And also the fact that the lodge is located right on the Alagnak River and your boat is just steps away from your room makes it great. Do yourself a favor. Call Charmel at 1-800-330-0326 or go online, katmai.com. And like Pete says, they will hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here with John this morning, talking fun, and you just can't help but be flooded with all the great Rancho Leonero memories.
Yeah.
And I was just showing John a picture. The first trip I ever did with Dallas was to the ranch, and we went down on a long weekend. Probably shouldn't have, and we just caught like the outskirts of a hurricane. It rained 9 inches that day, but it was still there was hardly any wind, and it was 80 some degrees. But it was just pouring rain. And I remember us hanging out in the pool, drinking margaritas in a torrential downpour, just laughing and having a good time with the weather and all the time spent with my dad, my whole family down there. And it's just a
pretty cool.
special spot,
Yeah,
man.
your
No
dad
doubt.
loved
Yeah.
Rancho
Oh,
Leonero.
it was his favorite place
Yeah.
in the whole world.
Loved it down
Yeah,
there,
no
for
doubt.
sure. Well, hey, let's jump in the phones.
Let's talk to Bruce. He's calling us from Lemon Grove this morning. Hey, Bruce, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. Question was, are they going to save any structures there?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Who knows? Of course, I push for them. There's a lot of history there, but I seriously kind of doubt it. I seriously doubt it. They're going to demolish the hotel. Yeah. And I'm kind of waiting for that. When that starts.
When do you think that's going to happen?
Good
They're
question.
just waiting for permits.
Mañana.
They were
Mañana.
They were supposed to start it last April, and it's just really, really, really tough to do business in Mexico. It's such a bureaucracy, and there's so many hoops to jump through. Especially now, it's completely different than when I first started, and so they're just waiting on all the permits. One development group is a multi-billion-dollar big outfit. For example, in Monterrey, they built the soccer stadium.
Wow.
They built the hospital. They built the university.
Wow.
I don't know whether if you've been to Monterrey, it's a very urban town. Reminds me kind of San Francisco. But it's got high rises everywhere. Half of the high rises they built or they own,
Wow.
they're really substantial.
Big.
So if anybody can get this stuff done, it's them. But it's taken them much more time than they imagined.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a water issue, John? I know because it's a lot of water issues. Water's a big issue.
Water's
Right?
become a touchstone. And the biggest problem is Mexico City, right? Mexico City is the center for all politics in Mexico and all all laws and everything else, and they're experiencing a huge drought. Right, they're out of water there, so that's going to impact their attitude with water everywhere. At the ranch, it's really interesting because our aquifer runs back up into the mountains, and there's no intrusion on it. Nobody's taking water back behind us, none. So our aquifer is awesome, and it's an underground river that runs right down to the center of the ranch, and that's where we have our well, and it's just been a wonderful water. So never.
But doesn't the government own all the water though?
Yeah, there's no agrarian rights in Mexico. It's totally different than the United States. You own the surface of the property. So, for example, if someone were to discover gold or oil or something under the ranch, I'd be in trouble. I wouldn't be rich.
Yeah,
Then somebody would take it away
all.
from it. Yeah, because you get no agrarian rights. So the government owns all the water, and it's supposed to be water for the people, but now
it's water for the people at a cost.
Yeah, they're selling the water rights to rich people in Mexico City. So we're running into that. I tried to buy water rights way back when nobody had it, and no, the water's for the people. You can't. There's no way you can purchase it. Now it turns out that they've sold all the water rights to people in Mexico City, obviously politically people that are set up, and it's hard. It's hard to get water. And again, we have the water when I first came, and I put the water in. I was dealing with Kanawha, the water people, and they were saying, well, if you take too much water, you're taking water from the people, blah blah blah, from others. And I tell them that's impossible, man. Because once the water comes by Rancho Leonero, it's out into the sea.
Yeah, exactly.
We're at the end of the line.
End of the line.
Right? Absolutely. Oh, and that kind of shuts them up.
Yeah.
But it's true, and it's unfortunate because there is such a plentiful supply of water, and all the permitting and all of the bureaucracy is slowing things up. They're going to get it, but and it's going to cost them more money than it needs to. It's just it's one of the reasons I'm not sticking around.
Yeah,
it's just getting harder and harder.
You have a great text, huh?
Thought so. It was a fun fishing story. It's from a good buddy Carter. It says, my family was the very first group in during COVID. We had the entire ranch to ourselves and had the most amazing fishing. We had a 9-fish day on roosters at the lighthouse, and every single fish was between 60 and 80 pounds.
Wow.
We caught so many heavy ones that my dad actually had a hernia when we came back in.
Woo.
Never forget that story at Day of Fishing. That's from Carter Katz. Good.
Wow.
Good, yeah.
Good rooster fishing, boy.
Yeah.
Nowhere in the world can you do better with the roosters.
No,
in
it's
that
amazing.
front. No, it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Jay and OB writes, good morning, Pete, Rick, and John. What a pleasure to have John on today. When the book comes out, John, I think you need to read it and put it on audio. You have one of the most soothing voices. Agree with him 100% on that.
Thanks, Jay. I might do that. You never know. I got time on my hands now.
Yeah, you're
Why
gonna
not?
have to do that for sure. A lot of people love audiobooks, so that'll be a big seller.
That's a good idea. Thank you, Jay.
This one was another good fun text. Says, good morning, guys. Good morning, John. Now that I hear that you're traveling a bunch, John, what is your bucket list fishing destination? That's from Rob and Seal Beach.
Good question. I really haven't done South America yet. I've been to Panama but I'd like to fish South America, anywhere where I'd love tuna fishing, right? So I think probably my next fishing trip is going to be for bluefin on the East Coast.
That'd be cool. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
I haven't caught a big bluefin yet.
There you go. Better get one. Well, let's jump into the phones, Rick.
How about Dan from West Covina up next year on Let's Talk Hookup? Hi, Dan.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going? It's a pleasure to talk to you, John. And the question that the subject you were talking about just a little while ago about the water rights and everything else, it made me think about it because I just got back from there a few days ago. We had a great time and got lucky one day with the wahoo fishing and all. And but it got me thinking because we went up one of the canyons to go to the waterfalls. There looked like plenty of water up there, so it looks like that's not the issue as far as availability. But I was just wondering, is water desalinization, on the table in some, on some subjects, I guess, in Cabo? Is it something that's an option for some places?
Absolutely, that's an option. When I first went down there, desal way expensive and not an option. Now it certainly is, and there are a lot of people that are going to it.
Are they?
Yeah, and it's.
But Cabo doesn't have as much water, isn't as water rich as the East Cape is, right?
We're all on the same aquifer.
Oh, is it?
The Miraflores aquifer.
Oh, no kidding.
So yeah, they're pulling their water out of Miraflores in that area.
Which
but
is the
yeah,
same
but
zone.
it's but we're on the other side. We're on the East Cape. We've got another run that comes down by us. And for the ranch, there's no intrusion. There's plenty. You're absolutely right, Dan. There's plenty of water down there, and it's unfortunate, but because it's federal and it's Mexico City and all that, water is really a touchstone issue. And I think it's probably around the world, water is becoming more and more important and scarce, right? But for us, we've got plenty, and it's really unnecessary. And I'm sure that, like I said, I'm sure that one development will get it straightened out and get their permits, but not easy anymore.
No.
That's for sure.
Hey, Bob Clark writes, good morning, guys. Great having John on. Brings back so many memories. We remember the early days when John had a quad de Los Barriles to call the radio show. We do remember those days. Carol and I were scheduled to stay at the hotel through the last day, the day prior to the final day, and the water tank broke, and we had to leave the hotel. We never heard the story about what took place. This has got to be a good Mexican story, right? Curious about what was wrong with the tank and how it all happened.
Well, the tank was old, right? That's a water system I put in. It's gravity fed. It feeds the hotel and the subdivision. And basically what happened was, it's 30 years old, it's 30 some years old. And there was erosion underneath the base of the water tank. So at some state, and it holds a massive amount of water. You understand? It's got 200,000 gallons, I think, is what it holds at one time, and a lot of weight. And it just it just settled underneath it because it didn't have the base underneath it, and there was a dead area underneath, so it kind of collapsed. Since then, we've repaired it and it's ready to go. We're still waiting on water because we're waiting on the permits for one development. And hopefully, so everybody now is getting water trucked into their homes, into their pilas, their water tanks for the individual homes, and that's going to change. We'll get our water back with one, but
that's the story.
Water is a real
Mexico story.
No doubt.
Oh yes.
I thought this was another fun one. It says, good morning, guys. Such a pleasure to hear John's voice again on the show. And he says, when the first Let's Talk Hookup book is written, that John needs to be the narrator for the audio version. My question is for John. If you're considering buying property in Baja today, what are a couple of areas that you would have your eye on? That's from Ralph and Menifee.
It's booming down there. It's try to look for Cabo, including the East Cape now. Everything's getting very expensive. If you're still interested in Cabo itself, the East Cape is the place to go, because the prices over on the other side are incredible.
Now the prices in the East Cape have skyrocketed too.
They've skyrocketed as well. Yeah, and Costa Palmas has been a big part of that, but it was inevitable. And I see the parallel between the East Cape and Cabo on the other side. When I first came down to Cabo, there was hardly anyone there. Hardly anyone. I think the population of all Cabo County was 13,000.
Wow.
And now it's 400 and some thousand.
Wow.
Give you an idea of the difference. And the East Cape has just fallen in the same way. And I knew it was inevitable. That's actually took longer than I expected.
Yeah.
But it's happening now.
Now it's happening.
Yeah. And it's
Costa Palmas really kind of caused that.
Costa Palmas did. It was inevitable one way or the other. But sooner or later, somebody big was going to come in like that. And they've really changed the landscape. Everything is so much more expensive.
Yeah.
Like I say, we just redid our house, and it costs as much to build down there as it does here, maybe even a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, hey, let's jump back in the phones, Rick.
Got it. How about this time we talk to Jim? He's calling us from Corona this morning. Hi, Jim. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Oh, thanks. I wanted to let John Ireland know my favorite memory of the East Cape and Rancho Leonero was the ceviche parties. Well, what happened is everybody would come in around 2:30, and then you'd have your fish cleaned, and then you'd always save a couple of bags, put them in Ziplockers, and take them to the girls at the restaurant, and then they would usually make ceviche. And then after about an hour and a half of it fermenting, everybody would have their table of ceviche. And then you'd say, oh, like one guy would catch triggerfish, or one guy would catch grouper, and one guy would catch like tuna or dorado. And then, and since it was the same woman made all the ceviche, it was all the same. The only thing different was the fish. So everybody would sample everybody's ceviche, and that was really fun. Drink a beer and sampling everybody's ceviche. It was really an open
No
party.
doubt.
Yeah, lots of ceviche down there, and also lots of sushi too. You know, when the yellowfin are biting, nowhere in the world do you have plates of free sushi appetizers, right? With wasabi.
Well, and then also when, you know, people catch a dorado or a pargo or something, and they'd share it among the people.
Right.
You know, being a small hotel, and
everybody shared that.
was
Everybody
pretty
got to know everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. It was very, very intimate environment.
Kind of like Cheers.
Yeah,
It was.
very much.
You made friends
very
there.
much
like-
so. But the sushi, just getting back to that real quick, it spoils you down there. It's same day fish. You know, it's buttery. Oh my gosh! And then you go to a sushi bar up here, and you know, and it tastes, to me, it tastes like cardboard compared to down there. It's so much fresher and better.
Yeah, for sure.
So I missed. That's one of the things I really miss. I love that yellowfin sushi. Ooh.
I had a fun text that I knew was something important to you, John. It says, as a scuba diver, I want to thank you for protecting Cabo Pulmo and establishing the reserve, or at least doing your part. One part of Baja is still the way that it should be. How much pushback was there during that process? That's from Bob and IB.
Yeah, good. Thanks for asking that. You know, we went to IMAX, and they have a Pomo special, and the hero of Pomo is the Castro family. The Castro family's down there now and been down there forever. The reason Bob Van Warmer and I helped found the state park, which was the original park down there, because the Castros were shooting all the fish out of there. And now they're the heroes, and they're saying they're the ones. And I don't care who hears it, but it's the reason Bob Van Warmer and I started it was because I would be diving on Pomo. I used to dive Pomo years and years when I first went down there, and I would spearfish on it because it wasn't a park at the time. And I would be down on the bottom, and they had bang sticks, right? And you'd see 410 shell casings everywhere down there, and they were killing all the fish out of there. So that was the reason that Bob and I, we each spent $5,000 or $10,000. I can't remember what it was to help start that park. And we got passed up about a year, 2 years later. Then the feds took it over, and it became a federal park.
And it's protected now.
Yeah.
Boy, oh, they watch it over like a hawk. In fact, it's like
that's good.
It's so heavily protected. It's limited entry now because it's become so popular a dive spot.
Yeah.
But I got to put a plug in for Pilu, Cabo Pulmo Divers. She is so great. A friend of mine, Steve, turned me on to her. I dive. There's a lot of operations down there now, but if you're going to go down there and dive, and it is a fabulous place to dive, dive with Cabo Pulmo Divers and Pilu. She is fantastic. She always tells me, she goes, you know, I'm not as good as social media. She's older and as some of the younger ones, so our business is not as good as some of the other guys, but trust me, that's the best operation down there.
Jennifer and I have dove all over the world. There's nowhere.
There's never. You're not going to see fish like that.
And you know what a lucky guy I am to have been diving it for so long.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I
remember you and I dove it many times together.
Many
with Mark Rayer and back in the day.
But I go way back, and you know, I was in the early '80s. I've been diving it, and I'm sure I'm probably the oldest Anglo anyway.
Yeah,
it's been,
and it's still amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's such a magical
it
spot,
is.
and they did a great thing
protecting it.
Well,
good for you guys.
Yeah,
you
know, and that's something that kind of got lost in the mix. But Bob was the one who actually pushed it. I was at my following Bob stage, you know, when we did it.
Yeah.
So he was pushing it hard, but he and I were the first one that started that.
Good for you guys. Rancho Leonero for me is in the 80s. San Diego to La Paz, stop at the roadside distributor and pick up a few cases of Chicos and a case or two of my ballenas, if they had them, and roll into room 24 or 25 and let the good times roll. Thanks, John Island, for the best vacations imaginable. John C.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's a good one.
It was, they take the ballenas in big bottles of Pacifico,
right,
and wrap them up in a newspaper,
right?
Yeah,
that's
and
the
then
Baja
you start
way.
in La Paz and then suck on it the whole way down to the ramp. Last just about to the ramp.
Yeah,
that was about the drive time.
Then you head for the bar and go grab another.
Yeah, and speaking of the ranch, before we run out of time, I got to talk about Jack Nielsen, because Jack Nielsen loved the ranch so much. His room 35. I was fortunate enough to stay in his in his room the last day that I was there for your big party, and Jack just would hold court up there on the patio, right?
Yeah,
And
special guy. I miss Jack a
yeah,
lot.
so many great rooms, but that ranch held a special place. I mean, and Jack did a lot of stuff, and
He did.
it was a special place.
I was
for
lucky
Jack.
enough to be able to spend a lot of time with him. He would come down for 2 or 3 weeks at a time and hang out. And I really enjoyed his company. A very good friend. I miss him a lot.
Good man.
Well said, boys. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's got themselves a brand new pair of Costas and the new sport fishing calendar. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network. Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me, book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com. When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Hey, San Diego, we want you to start every day with the charge you need. So your San Diego County Ford dealers are giving you this home charger and covering the cost of standard installation. 24/7 live support, the Ford Power Promise. With a brand new 2024 Mustang Mach-E or a 2024 F-150 Lightning, you can have electric vehicle confidence from day one. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers, they'll be glad to hook you up.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Okay, it's time to find out the big winner of the Costa gift certificate and the 2025 sport fishing calendar. John's going to do us the honors. Flip that coin. Today we have a caller. Congratulations, Jim in Corona. You have got yourself a brand new pair of Costas, $300 on the Costa website, and that great sport fishing calendar from Bill Varney.
Yeah, and of course that Bill Varney sport fishing calendar now available at either fishthesurf.com or at local tackle stores like Fisherman's Landing, Dana Landing. They all have it. It's a great calendar, and I'll make sure you walk home with one today, John. So
nice.
They're super cool. Yeah, and John Ireland, it's always a pleasure to see you. I wish I could say, hey, how do we book a room at Rancho Leonero right now? But we can't do that because there's no Rancho Leonero anymore. Are they going to keep the name?
No.
The name is gone.
The development's keeping the name.
They
The
are.
subdivision, yeah.
And so there's still going to be a Rancho Leonero.
Yeah, there will.
Yeah, the
It's
development.
hard. It's hard. You know, we're on the Weather Channel on Apple, where if you go up, if you put El Leonero in, you get the weather at the ranch.
Oh. Is that right?
On your phone, yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
It's El Leonero.
El
I was
Leonero.
curious, yeah.
Well,
I don't know how long that's going to last with all the name changes and
well,
everything.
we wish you nothing but the
Yeah,
best
buddy.
in your retirement. I know we're going to have a lot of fun times ahead of us.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'll come
and you
back.
and Jen and it's fun having you come back and reminisce about Rancho Leonero.
I'll come back again and give it
Yeah.
another 6 months a year.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
man.
give you guys an update.
doing a reminisce. But Rancho Leonero, and I will say East Cape's still a super cool place. Fishing's still
Totally.
phenomenal.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
we had our 30th annual Let's Talk Hookup Palmas de Cortez tournament last month, and it was fantastic.
Right. You know, and I got to say, I got to interrupt. Fishing's still really good.
Still
and
really,
it
really
it
good.
blows me away.
Yeah.
After all these years I've watched how many fish are coming out of there, how good the fishing is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, thanks, John, again. And thank you out there. Thanks to JP for manning the phones and the board. And, of course, Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup app. And, of course, thank you out there, the callers, the texters, and the listeners. You're what make it happen out there for us, and we appreciate you. And, of course, our great sponsors, too. We will be back next Saturday and Sunday. Next Saturday, Ron Lane, Fast Lane Kayaks, will be here. He's got some deals and all kinds of fun stuff to talk about next Saturday. And then next Sunday, Ali Husseini from fishdope.com and BD Outdoors and Yosef Husseini, the Anglers Realtor, will be here. That's next Saturday and Sunday, right back here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Mightier 1090, YouTube and Facebook Live, and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Great show, guys.
Thanks, JP. We'll talk to you